What video games show that graphics truly aren't everything? Roller Coaster Tycoon, Dwarf Fortress, because what it has to be barely called graphics. Minecraft, not a fan myself, but if anything does, it's that one. Oregon Trail comes to mind. Faith, it showed that a horror game can still be terrifying even in 8-bit. The first Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, the 2 is my favorite, and the old Pokemon's games. NetHack, focusing on gameplay instead of graphics. It spawned the dev team thinks of everything, a catchphrase in its fanbase. RimWorld, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and Master of Orion 2. Both very dated graphics, but stand the test of time. Still very playable today, and best of all, they can run on almost any PC. Also add Civ series to the list. Mountain Blade, Warband is one that comes to mind for me. RimWorld, endless possibilities for your floating head and torso colonies. Thomas was alone. I was really hooked from the very beginning. Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005 classic. Dwarf Fortress and NetHack are the classics. Crusader Kings 2 is just a map of Europe. Pretty much everything Seth Cinch the YouTube reviewer like, Under Rail and Neo Scavenger come mind, are slightly more modern examples. Oblivion, hardly anyone talks about the graphics because we're too busy laughing at the NPC dialogue. Fallout New Vegas looks really dated by today's standards, but the game is just as fun as it's ever been. The Simpsons, hit and run. FTL, faster than light. Darkest Dungeon, Terraria, Cardinal Quest 2, mobile game. Rimdrisa, Bomber Crew. A lot of people need to play more indie games. Unturned, Dungeon of the Endless, The Binding of Isaac, Crypt of the Necro Dancer, Realm of the Mad God, Spelunky, Castle Crashers. Team Fortress 2. That game is over 10 years old probably, and still has a dedicated community, including me. Super Hexagon, Papers, Please. The Sims 2. Haven't seen anybody say it here, but that game slaps. Final Fantasy Tactics. Such an amazing, beautiful game. The graphics are meh. Binding of Isaac. Not only is it fun, but it has so much replayability. Hotline Miami. Most violent and brutal video game I've ever played, all displayed through pixelated gore and bloodshed. The early Final Fantasy games. They storyline and music made those games. The graphics really didn't matter. Half-Life 2 is still better than most single-player games that come out today. Galaga. Call me old-fashioned, but I still like it. Look me in the eye and tell me you don't grin like a comic book villain when you get that double ship. Airplane. Dungeons and Dragons. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater for the PlayStation 1. Papers, Please. Great game, very little graphics. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. There's a reason both of them consistently show up near the tops of best RPGs ever lists. The writing, characters, sense of exploration, scale, and player agency is fantastically done. Football Manager. The graphics are so bad, I still use classic 2D in 2020. Any of the pre-Gen 6 Pokemon games. Those games were hella pixelated, but they were amazing. Look behind you, the three-headed monkey. Hotline Miami. So much action and violence into some pixels. Sonic the Hedgehog, classic. An icon that still is launched nowadays. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Powerful graphics is nothing compared to good art direction. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Clannad. You don't need the best graphic card to play through it and get to all the endings. Over 200 hours of work, by the way. You don't need a top-of-the-line computer to cry your eyes out after seeing the art that is Clannad. Clannad is absolutely beautiful, and I've gotten very close to crying during some of those scenes. This new game for Switch, A Short Hike. Looks like it could have come out on N64, but is so charming and cute it's hard not to love it.